There we go. We're up. We're running. We are live. And we're coming to you from ACC this week because, you know, why not? It's been a while since I've been on ACC, I'm not going to lie. So, yeah. Let's see what we can do. Right, let's get you in on the action. Here we are. All public lobbies, so let's just, you know, see what happens, really. We are going for... Let's have a look. Not Monza. Let's go Barcelona. Quite like Barcelona.
Green light.
Set up. Aggressive. Let's see what this Merc can do. I've been driving the Merc a little bit on iRacing, so let's see if it's got something for us on ACC. I turn the virtual mirror off. Bug me. Thought my wheel wasn't centered for a minute then. We're not streamed ACC. We have to have the graphics quite low because I run triple screens and then streaming with that as well. There's a little bit of an issue. It might struggle to record at 60 frames a second as well. Apparently, not sure why. Probably maxing out our GPU, to be fair. Poor little 1660 Super doesn't like it too much. Right. Qualifying. I'm not sure if our tyre temps are going to be up to scratch. We'll have a look at them after a flying lap. They're all public lobbies tonight, so if anyone's watching and fancies joining in a race, give us a shout. Sure we can join you up on one at some point. Here we go then. It's a little bit tail happy, this AMG. Been using the, oh, I guess it's the slightly older version in iRacing, but Mark's using the newest one in ACC. Don't know why I've started using it in iRacing, probably because it just sounds awesome. I was getting a little bit bored of using the BMW because everyone's in that, and you don't see many people in the Mercedes, so let's see what we can do. So we come down the straight onto the flying lap. There's only 3 of us in the lobby at the moment, so hopefully... Ooh, drifty boy. Hopefully it picks up a little bit. Hey man, how you doing? You good? Steve. Yeah, Steve. Let us know if the stream looks alright, mate. I'm still testing a few things out with some sims. Not sure if you're getting drop frames or something. I only know one race is Barcelona, and there's like 3 Spa lobbies that have all got loads of people in. Just get so bored of Spa. Well, I quite like the Nürburgring. Well, I'd like to say you'd pick up some tips, but you probably won't. That's good, that's good. That's what we like to see. I'm by far and away one of the slower drivers on ACC. been a sim that I've never really got to grips with. I really enjoy playing it. I think it probably does give the best GT3 experience, and the GT4s are amazing. Like, I think iRacing with their updates is getting close, but obviously there's a lot of money to pay out in iRacing to do that, which unfortunately I've already done, so I kind of can just jump into it now and buy the odd bit of new content. But I think for the sheer variety of cars and driving, it's just got to be one of the best ones. I've not tried GT3s and R Factor, but you can't know one plays R Factor at the moment, so. But I have got an endurance race there in a couple of weeks, which should be good. What's your league you're racing in on? Is it Sunday? Oh, it's great. A fantastic game. The only thing that I miss about, like, obviously it's an official series, so the tracks have to be kind of what they are, but I do miss some of the variety of tracks you can get from other sims. Delta Racing, don't know it. You got a chance of winning? Whenever I do leagues, I'm always, top 10 would be an amazing achievement for me. I seem to always find the leagues that have got the really fast people in. Just say yes. Yeah, you always got a chance to win it, mate. Always got a chance to win him. Fair enough. You never know. Everyone could crash. Not a way that anyone likes to win, but we'd all be lying if we said we wouldn't want to win that way, or we wouldn't take the win. How many rounds are you into the season? I'll have to up the traction control on this a little bit. Second off the processor, bro. Yeah, that's probably a good way of doing it. Is it your first sort of league experience? I do like leagues. They're not like publics at all. I'm the only person in this lobby. I've just realised. So we'll probably back out of this one in a second, but we might as well finish this lap. Chicane. So annoying. Yeah. I mean, the good thing about leagues is you get used to who you're racing with. So you know the people that are safe and you know the people that are... Right, let's get out of this and find some actual people to race, shall we? You find the people... You know the people that you can... what am I trying to say? That you can actually, like, go wheel to wheel with. And you find the people quite quickly that you shouldn't. And then it's just down to how the people run it, like if they encourage clean and fair, or if they don't mind a bit of argy-bargy sort of thing. Not that argy-bargy's too bad, but you don't want dirty, do you? Alright, what we got? I quite like Silverstone. I haven't driven Paul Ricard in ages. Ooh. GT4's at Donington. I love about that. Should we go with the AMG GT4? I've never driven that. What could possibly go wrong, eh? It always says rain. Let's hope it's not wet. Oh, it is wet. Oh. Wet Donny. What do we reckon? Got it, should we go for it? Just whack the wet preset on. We're going to have to change our view settings quickly because we are a little bit... Let's turn... Where is it? Hidden. Wet Donny is always fun, and Wet Donny in GT4 is kind of perfect, really, isn't it? Like, you can't argue with that. How do I turn the virtual mirror off? Because what you can't... I'm running triple screen, so what you can't actually see is the side mirrors, but the virtual mirror really, like, distracts me. Where is it? There. It took me bloody ages. Right, we might actually get a time in, but let's have a go. I nearly took the Maserati. I'm quite glad I didn't now. I raced with a group called Rapid Drivers Club, and I would have been in a GT4 race with them tonight, but I couldn't make most of this season, so I didn't bother signing up. But last season we had like 3 or 4 wet races. They've got an app that sets the server up for the exact time and weather conditions that are happening at that precise moment in time at the track, like according to whatever weather computer thing they use. But it did make for like an absolutely like flooded Suzuka, which was incredible. I actually didn't do too bad in that one because I didn't crash, which is about all you had to do. Didn't quite make that. Racing in the wet is always a very quick, like steep learning curve. Just how little grip we have. I think our Donny race was wet as well. Can't get the virtual mirror to turn on. That's a bit odd. Should just toggle it on to enabled and it comes on. I don't know if there's any shortcut keys or not. There might be. I do swap between single and triples. I've got like a 29-inch ultra wide, which isn't one of them like super cool massive ones, but it's like I can run that at like ultra settings, or I can run triples at medium.
Yellow flag in sector 1.
So I sometimes switch back to that one. That's my triples. I like the most super budget monitors ever, so the colours are a little bit off, not off, but they're old office monitors, so they're like 60 Hz, which is enough for ACC because that's about all it can run at for me. Some of the older games I can run a little bit faster. Curbs are bad in the wet. I don't think we're going to be particularly fast here. Let's just try and get round. To be honest, they are a little bit too small. I mean, I'm in a shed basically. I don't know if you can probably tell from the camera, but So like, my triples are only 23s. I run them at quite a steep angle, so...
Your lap time is invalidated.
Did we just get pole? I'll be alright if it's a wet race then. God, we snatched that with the 1 lap we put in, didn't we?
Slow car ahead.
Yeah, the 29 is cheaper. Do you know what I'd love to do? I'd love to do...
Alright, we have some wet conditions. Watch out for curbs and exit, and remember to brake early.
I'd love to have good enough graphics card to get 2 more of the 29 ultra wides and run those like around. I think that'd be really cool. But they're actually exactly the same height as my 23, but because they run a different resolution, I can't do like ultra wide little one. It just, I can't get it to work. I think AMD graphics cards might be able to do it, but on the video you just can't. So let's hope. So when I get some money together for a new graphics card, which won't be yet, because I've got I need a new rig first. I want a proper 8020 rig rather than the one I'm on now. This is my wooden creaky boy. And I've got to move house as well. Hopefully I'll have enough room to put it inside then. Here we go then. What's the betting we get death by turn 1? Oh yeah, that'd be interesting. I know there's ways of bodging it, but it just doesn't... A lot of the time it's just constant like fiddling and setting up. I got so fed up with... I tried for ages to get it to work.
Stay in double file.
And sometimes even just NVIDIA Surround is awful. And I got it to work on some sims, like the bezel correction was slightly actually on the wrong screen, but it did work and it did look, it was really cool because it was almost like having a proper windscreen and then 2 side monitors. I've seen people doing it, but it works. You can sort of bodge resolutions on the 2 side screens and try and make it work that way. But oh, it's such a faff. Easy to do if you want to just cut some of the game off each corner. You just tell it it's got 3 monitors of the 29 ultra wide size and miss a bit of each edge.
Green light. Go, go, go.
Come on then. Easy into turn 1. I don't think I've ever won a public lobby on any, like, on AC, so it'd actually be quite funny. We jumped into GT4 and did so. Alright. I don't think I got pole by any real skill other than I got lucky on a lap, to be fair. I'm bound to throw it off the track at some point. One thing that does annoy me with ACC, and it's like the smallest little bugbear, but like it's like the rubbering in of the track. It's all kind of weird. Like, I don't think it rubbers into where people drive. I think it literally rubbers in on a predefined racing line. Because sometimes you can see that the racing line isn't where everyone's been going. It's fairly predictable, yeah. There's no like... I don't know if you ever played Project Cars. That could be evil in the wet. Because there'd be like huge standing water with aquaplaning and stuff. But, this seems fairly predictable. Just got to try and not throw the car off the track and we should be alright. I do actually, yeah. I've got an endurance race coming up in R Factor on the 26th. We've got 2.4 hour of Le Mans. So we're jumping in an MP2 for that, so that'd be quite good fun. I'm by nowhere near the fast guys that I'm running it with. But hopefully I can just be consistent and pick up some results. I've never driven it in the wet though, so hopefully they don't decide to bring rain into it, because that would just be awful. I'd like to see a bit more on R Factor, but I've not really found anyone running anything yet. But it seems to drive really well. That I can't keep justifying buying content, so you do rely a little bit on the mods. I did buy the endurance pack for this series, this sort of, because I think there's going to be more than one race coming up, so I don't mind paying it for that, but I wouldn't want to pay it every time for every content, he says, mainly because I've spent all my bloody money on iRacing. Sim racing is expensive. If it's not the hardware, it's the software, isn't it?
Well, I made purple lap.
As soon as you've put a comment, I will read that in a second. I normally have a chat box that like floats on top of my window, or on top of the game, but I can't seem to get it to work today. Yeah, see, I like that, like rubbering in of tracks, and so iRacing does it really well. Like the track rubs in, marbles are in the place, and it's all dynamic. It's properly where it should be. It can be cheap. It can be, well, cheap. Like,
Yellow flag in sector 2.
computers quite expensive, especially at the moment, like with the graphics cards and stuff being real shortage of those. And I know second-hand Logitech wheel and a desk is enough. You could race perfectly fine forever on that. But it's how far down the rabbit hole do you want to go? You start looking at decent cockpit, and then all of a sudden you want, oh, I might want that nice new wheel and that set of load cells, and before you know it, it's a few grand down the bank, innit? Yeah, I mean, I was lucky. I built my computer about 6 months before the pandemic hit, I suppose. Treated myself to some bits, learnt how to build it, and did it as like a birthday present to me. Because I was racing on the Xbox, and I sort of got into sim racing, and I'd always been a racing game fan since like the early Grand Prix games when I was a kid. And I sort of went out and bought a wheel for my Xbox, and then started to really enjoyed that on like Project Cars and Forza. I started to do a bit of research into it, and then ended up building a cheap PC that I then upgraded to a much more expensive, well, not much more, but upgraded it bit by bit, and finished that sort of upgrade path just before the pandemic hit, so quite lucky. And now I've still got a home-built cockpit and a 7 Newton meter, so it's only a like little tiny baby direct drive wheel. Some Fanatec V3s. Everything I've got though I picked up second hand. So the only thing I've got that's new is one monitor, I think. No, we're under some pressure now. We've been chilling too much, haven't we? This guy's flying as well.
Car on the right. Clear on the right.
It's like lapping like 3 seconds a lap quicker than me.
Clear on the right.
Oh. He obviously decided he didn't want to race anymore. That's the thing, isn't it? Like,
There's a slow car up ahead.
it used to be that like second hand would get you like a really good deal on things, but now, put it this way, I bought, so my first wheel was the Thrustmaster TMX or the T150, same wheel basically, like their real budget one. So I got second hand for like 150 quid. I sold that and bought a Fanatec CSL Elite for, so I sold that for 160 after about 8 months of having it. So I made a tenner on that. Bought a Fanatec CSL Elite for 200 quid. I then sold that for 320 a year later and bought this direct drive wheel for 300 second hand, and then paid him 50 quid to throw in the rim as well. So like, I've actually not really lost a lot of money on, I've sort of made money on everything I've bought, which is quite weird. If only I could do that with every other walk of life, I'd be alright. I'm literally poodling this car around, hoping not to die. Yeah, but there's the death. There's the death. I do. Right, now we got to actually work. No, it doesn't always work like that. Like, I just got lucky. I think I was buying at the right time and selling at the right time. Obviously, I didn't know that sim racing was going to have that massive boom, and Fanatec would be the only thing people ever want to own. So yeah, and like, I didn't even sell the rim with it. I just sold the base on its own for 320, no pedals, nothing. And then like my load cell, but so the I sold the, yeah, I bought some CSR Elites, so they were like one of the first Fanatec load cell pedals, about 15 years old. I bought them for £100 on eBay. I sold them for 120 about 2 weeks ago.
Car on the left. Clear on the left.
Wasn't paying attention. We've thrown away that win, haven't we? Wilkins, let's try and get a bit faster, shall we? Never got to grips with that corner at Donington. Just got to keep plodding along. Be a bit gutted if we don't at least salvage a podium out of this. Considering I was pole and I've led like 60% of the race. I bet that Camaro's fun in this weather. Yeah. I'm much better at Donington in touring cars than I am in like GT cars. I know they're very similar, but I was saying about the front wheel drive. Might have to really try to push now. I think these guys have realised that I'm driving far too slow for what can actually be achieved. I was being very conservative and still ended up going off the track, so not really got anything to lose now. I do like the way that they definitely make the curbs more slippery in the wet, which is exactly how it should be, and you can feel that. Like, if you get on the curbs, you can feel the loss of grip, which is quite cool. Although I've never really got on the force feedback of ACC. Just doesn't quite have the something missing from it, and I can't work out what it is. Might just be my wheels not powerful enough to put across everything they want to put across.
Car on the right.
We'll have that place back. We'll have that place back. Right, podium position.
Well done, mate. Personal fastest lap.
Let's keep going. Mistakes are so easy to make in this weather. Ooh, come on. It's not the heaviest rain I've seen in ACC, to be fair. It could be worse. Not very often you actually see a GT4 race with anyone in it. You definitely hardly ever see any GT4s in the multi-class. It's a shame it is wet, because I think in the dry it should be a lot closer racing. I honestly believe that, yeah, typical British weather, isn't it? I did a video about recently how I believe that GT4s are, for the actual racing aspect, a better class of car. For sim racing. Maybe not so much in like actual real racing. Although they do provide some good racing. Difference between sim racing and proper racing is the guys doing the proper racing can actually race wheel to wheel in GT3s and not kill each other.
You're gaining on the driver ahead in sector 3. Well done, mate. This has been your personal best.
We need to sort out that loss of rear grip coming out that corner. GT2. Awesome. Race Room's got quite a good GT2 class, I think. Or GT1, I can't remember. I know that between them you can do a really good multi-class on Race Room with those. I need to look for some GT2 mods or something for AC or R Factor. See if I can get one of the groups, the Tuesday group, to run GT2. That'd be quite good fun. The GT4 mod, the Gorilla Mods GT4 mod on Assetto Corsa is absolutely stunning as well. And you get the Toyota Supra, which is just really cool looking. GT4, I just think, because it's slower, it allows a little bit more wheel-to-wheel action without having to, like...
Well done, mate. Personal fast.
It's a little bit less stress when you go wheel-to-wheel, because everything's coming at you a little bit slower. It's less aero effect to worry about following another car. Yeah, Race Room GT is really, especially because it's combined with Race Room sounds, so which are fantastic. Quite like to see ACC add them to the roster. They do race under the, is it SRO license, I think, so could well be done. Yeah, like you put a bunch of people that can actually sort of race in like MX-5s or something like that, but they're really easy to control. The racing can be hilariously good. And sometimes it's fun just to drive stupid big V8 American muscle cars and just all kind of die.
Alright,
But
the leader is on the final lap. Give it
I'd say some of the best racing I've had has always been, it's been in like the Fiat 500R baths on Assetto Corsa. Been awesome racing in those. Or like the NSUs on Race Room. We are just side by side for an entire lap. Because the racing's that much slower. It's just easier to position the car. And like a little tap isn't going to completely send you around all the time. Especially in Race Room with its netcode, which is excellent. I really want to get... next month is H-pattern shifter. So let's try and put a bit of money aside towards new rig.
car on the right.
Race Room could benefit, in my opinion, from
Car on the left.
making the contact in like touring car and NSUs a little bit less sensitive. I think that would really, really help.
Clear on the left.
Well, we made this corner, but it wasn't quick. It wasn't quick, was it? Tried to go Billy Big Bollocks on the brakes and failed. Whew.
The leader has finished the race.
Well, that could have been me winning, but
Excellent job, mate. P3, we're on the podium. Now bring it back home safely.
good racing, good racing. Well done, everybody. It's my good racing song. Yeah, like sometimes the penalties are. Cheers, man. Should have been a win, really, shouldn't it? But you know, we'll gloss over that. We'll gloss over that. Sometimes the penalties in Race Room are just a bit too harsh. Like, some of it is just genuine racing side by side, and you like brush a door and it's like 4 points. You're like, nah. And then other times it is a genuine punt, and you're like, fair enough. Hi, Lamy. What could go wrong, eh? Can't remember the last time I raced this. I think the last time I raced this was in the Maserati GT4. Aggressive preset. I guess. 2 minutes of qualifying, that's enough to warm up, innit? Probably. Good lords to run. I think I've never really liked AI in racing games. There's something about knowing that they're not real people that makes me just not care about their welfare at all. So it's an AI and like collision detection things are very hard to do with AI because it's got to try and assign blame. So you either have to spend forever teaching it what's right, what's wrong, and it will always... The variables of online racing will come into play because there'll be points where it's something it's not learned and it has to like dish out. It's like GT Sport. I've never played it, but you see people complaining about the penalty system all the time because people have learnt how to game it so they can tap you from behind and you get the points, or they just give you a little brake check into certain areas. So I mean, the no blame system where everyone gets the points works for me because it should, in theory, encourage everyone to calm down a bit. Whether it does or not is a completely different matter, but... Ooh. Oh. Yeah, it's an imperfect system, but it works, and it's kind of... What more can they do, really? Until someone can write that code, or one of the developers pays someone to live steward every race.
There's a slow car up ahead.
Which couldn't be done on, like, iRacing, for instance. You think how many races are going on at once?
Yellow flag in sector 2.
It just wouldn't be possible. And even then, you've got human error. So, like, what one steward considers perfectly fair racing, another one wouldn't. So then you've got to...
There's a slow car up ahead.
Even with that,
Yellow
so,
flag.
I mean,
Flag.
look at...
Be careful there.
Just look at F1 recently with the Hamilton and Verstappen penalties and all that going on. It's just not possible to... Even they can't make their mind up, and they're paid lots of money to be these officials. Some of the stuff I've seen go down on iRacing, like, honestly, I think the system might just give up, be like, I can't deal with this, mate. How did he even do that, let alone why? Oh, I keep clipping that curb. Sky Alarm is not one of my strong tracks, and
Flag, yellow flag. Be careful.
gonna say that.
Session is now over.
14. Brilliant, was it? Not brilliant. I think you will, man. I think realistically leagues are generally, and don't get me wrong, I run in a league with mates on a Tuesday. Some of them are real life mates, some of them are racing mates, and like, the racing's fair, but there's still... There is still, like, points where people are getting punted. And it's just how you deal with it. Like, most of us would try and give the position back, or like, we're all on Discord when we race, so we'd be like, really sorry, man. Like, do you want me to give the position back? Sometimes people will be like, nah, don't worry about it, I'm alright. And other times it's like just fair to give a position back. So I think league racing, you get that. Oh, the relative, where is it? It's hidden by my camera, isn't it? Maybe. Hold on.
30 seconds.
If I put that like there. Drive. Does that work? There you go. You should be able to see it now. Let's do it. Let's do it. I'll fiddle around with that in a little bit. I think I just about managed to uncover it.
Staying double file.
A minute or two more, we would have been better. I could have positioned it nicely. Right. Ugh, 45 frames per second at the start. That's always worrying, isn't it? And it looks it as well. I always forget you can ghost cast in this, but it's not a habit I want to get into, because all the other games I play, you don't ghost cast on this formation lap. It's so easy to overspeed and underspeed on this bit.
Green light, give it all you can.
That wasn't the worst start ever. Normally a much worse than that.
Car on the left. Clear on the left.
I'm going to get mugged on the inside a few times here. Oh.
We've got some light damage on the front of the car. There's a slow car up ahead.
It's really bad when you're in VR.
Yellow flag ahead, watch out in front. There's a slow car up ahead.
Right. We don't worry, get mistakes happen in the first corner. It's alright.
Car on the left. Clear on the left.
Like, ACC, for one, the only like good thing about this is nothing's ranked. You're not losing anything by getting taken out, and then we'll just see if we can come back a little bit. We have got a little bit of damage. Hopefully it won't
There's a slow car up ahead.
affect our... It won't affect my lap times too much, I doubt. Oh, it doesn't feel any different. We might have lost a bit of top end or something, I guess. It's all about the chill racing on this, because none of it really matters, does it? At the end of the day, we're all just sitting at home playing a computer game. Although, I mean, I madly love it, but when you actually think about it, getting bumped off of the first corner of a public lobby race is kind of expected, isn't it?
Car on the left. Clear on the left. Yellow flag ahead, watch out.
I'm going to kind of stick our nose in and around this guy and see if he panics.
There's a slow car up ahead.
I'm not sure what happened there.
Got some severe damage at the front.
Now we've... Oh, now we've ruined it. How severe?
Yellow flag ahead, be careful. Slow car ahead.
Oh, they're all piping off in the game chat. Everyone takes it too seriously.
Car on the right. Clear on the right. Yellow flag ahead, watch out in front.
Rubber banding, I've heard that. That's like
Right.
the game recalculating where the position is, isn't it?
Clear on the right.
Were they on? Because they didn't look like they were on the brakes. All of a sudden they just came a lot closer to me. Unless he let off the throttle, because then the brake lights wouldn't come on, I suppose.
There's a slow car up ahead. Yellow flag, be careful there.
It's more annoying that, like, a tiniest little tap on his back and it sent me spinning into a wall. I don't really understand how that happens. Yeah, we've definitely lost some aero.
There's a slow car up ahead.
I think the contact physics on ACC are actually not brilliant. It's so easy to get knocked into like a ridiculously slow spin with the tiniest little tap. It just sends you round.
Well done, mate. Your fastest lap so far. There's a slow car up ahead.
Ugh. Don't think we're going to get much out of this race with a severely damaged car, but see if we can get one position. Well, we're massively lacking on speed and aero.
Yellow flag, be careful.
It'd be quite cool if they could actually come up into the windscreen. That would be funny. And just all of a sudden flop in your face, can't see. Quite liking this Merc though. So I've not like literally only just started driving it on iRacing and thought I'd give it a go on this one as well. On iRacing it's how happy as anything, which is a little bit frustrating at some tracks.
Yellow flag ahead, watch out in front.
Whoa, come on then. See how high we can get with our ridiculously damaged car.
Well done, mate. Personal fastest lap.
Probably not much higher. We're running like 3 or 4 seconds off the pace now. I've not tried it in Race Room. Apparently, it's very good. Well, I haven't bought the new one, is basically what I'm saying. I think I've probably tried the older ones. I never got on with it in ACC. It didn't suit my driving style at all, but... Do you know what? I kind of like it now. I think it is a really good looking car. Not quite as good looking as the Z4 GT3 that used to race, but, you know. Guys, just taking a trip across the grass. I'll have your place. Thank you. Probably would have been wise to pit and get the damage fixed. But yeah, it's a good looking car, this Mercedes. Gotta give it credit for that. Sounds good as well. I have got the engine noises turned down a little bit because...
Flag, be careful there. Slow car ahead. Car on the left.
It's impossible to hit anything going on. Yeah, we're cranked.
Car on the left.
Don't think we're going to have the legs on this guy.
Well done, mate. Your fastest lap so far.
No, we don't. Even with a little bit of loss of aero, we're all right through the corners, I think. It's just... we've got no pace on the straight bits. Quite like this track. This is a track that's growing on me.
Yellow flag, be careful. There's a slow car up ahead. Car on the right. Clear on the right.
Another one bites the dust. Dun, dun, dun. Another one bites the dust. Once you get used to it, it's got quite a nice flow. I've not done much around it, but I hate learning new tracks. Like, I don't mind putting time into practice, but I tried learning the Nordschleife earlier. That's going to take a little longer than the like hour I had free. But yeah, I'm just not a massive fan of learning new tracks.
Step so far.
Don't get me wrong, I've come across some beautiful tracks when I finally got round to forcing myself to learn some for league races or whatever, but I could literally, unfortunately, I'm one of them that could race on the same 4 tracks over and over again. Not all of them are the classics. Not a big fan of Monza or Spa. I think Spa gives better racing,
Keep it up.
but I don't think Monza really gives any good racing at all. It's just because it's historic.
Yellow flag.
Yeah, a lot of people have learned it on there. I never had I never went. Didn't really have a PlayStation, so I had a PS1. I think I had the first Gran Turismo on that, and then I went on to Xbox. That's it, because that's what one of my friends got, and I wanted to play games with him. And Halo. The game of my childhood.
There's a slow car up ahead.
Yeah, there's not much to it. Easy to learn, very difficult to master, I find. I can never get a Scari right. I think that's where like I lose all of my time.
Up behind. Watch out.
Am I about to get lapped? That can't be.
Car on the left.
He is clearly faster though. That's annoying.
Yellow flag ahead. Watch out. Yellow flag in sector 2.
He's definitely one of the ones that spun. I'd imagine. Maybe he went and got his damage fixed. So I'm clearly not going to get anywhere at my current pace. And I've probably lost more time than what I would have lost in the pit stops now, haven't I? Right, next race, we are not getting killed. It's not happening. We're going to be spot on good. I'm wondering if we should pit now and just for the shits and giggles, see if we can make some of the places back up. Well, we've got 24 cars in. Pit now and what? Try not to come last. Let's do it. Do you know what else I don't like about this game? It's how stupidly accurate you have to be with the pit boxes. Like, it doesn't need to be that bad. Like, mechanics can move, They wouldn't like pick your car up and move it into the exact spot. They'd just run to wherever you parked. It's a minute. Oh no. Right then. Mission not last when we get out of the pits. Let's do it. I just don't get it. I just don't get why they've done it. They must have coded a box that can do the pit stops. And that's it. Like, makes no sense. In no other racing game have you ever, like, had to park exactly. And they don't. There's no way of knowing exactly where the box is either. Like, where I parked was perfectly acceptable for.
Mandatory stop is now clear.
Like.
Come on, let's go.
So slow when you got it on manual. Automatic. It was perfectly capable of doing a pit stop, wasn't it? And it just didn't let you. Oh, we're still not last. We are going to get laps, though.
Car on the right. Faster car is approaching. Watch out. Clear on the right. Car on the right. Clear on the right. Car on the right. Clear on the right.
We got a race on with this Mercedes then. Yeah, I've got cold tyres, remember Wilkins? It's cold tyres.
Car on the left.
That was my fault. That was completely my fault. I was trying to turn in and squeeze, but not squeeze too much. I wanted him to back out, and I may have misjudged it slightly. I've Verstappened him or Hamiltoned him, depending on what way you look at it.
Yellow flag ahead. Be careful. Car on the right. Clear.
Cool rejoin, bro.
A faster car is approaching.
But like James Baldwin, I'm going back to the pit box thing actually, because that has made me angry. James Baldwin, man, like he's actually driven GT3. He's done it. Won races. Did he win a championship? Can't remember if he won the British GT or not. But like, he knows exactly what it's like, and he knows that they don't wheel the car into positions. There's really no point racing this guy. We are a lap behind. We've got no way of getting out of the way.
Left. Clear on the left.
Where'd you let him go? I've driven poorly,
Yellow
like,
flag in sector 1.
since I came out of the pits.
Car on the left. Clear on the left. Car on the left. Clear on the left.
Right, let's go. Let's just see if we can get a half decent lap in. It'd be funny if I can't go quicker than my damage lap, wouldn't it? Woo! Cheeky. It's got just the right amount of oversteer most of the time. Like enough that a little flick can just catch it. the other bugbear of this game, and it doesn't really matter too much, like when you're just playing on it, but when you're in a team race, so driver swaps and stuff, is why the person in the car has to control all the pit stop and driver change stuff. Like,
Yellow flag ahead. Be careful.
that doesn't happen in real racing. That's what the other guys would do. Like the guy that's waiting to connect would set the tyre pressures and stuff.
Leaders on final lap.
Just silly little quality of life things. And I get that the first driver has to join the server first and blah, 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 blah. Like, okay, it's a bit of an annoying bug in the game, but we've all learned to live with it.
Clear on the left.
Like, if I'm racing like this, and then all of a sudden I'm trying to set tyre pressures for the next stint and pick a driver, it's alright, faff. It just works.
Yellow flag in sector 2.
Like, yeah, okay, occasionally the servers have a meltdown because of the sheer volume of people on it on like their big events. But once they're up and running,
Clear on the left.
they don't crash, really. I don't think I've ever seen an iRacing server crash.
Clear on the left.
And like,
You're gaining on the driver
you
ahead.
just jump in,
Well done, mate. You're fast.
whoever's getting in the car hits the drive button, they can set the tyre pressures, not that you do in iRacing, because it doesn't really matter.
On the left.
Something they need to work on is the tyres actually like needing their pressures changed. A bit like R Factor where the lowest pressure is fastest. But you can do your fuel strategies and stuff. The guys on the pit wall could do that. And then driver, just all they have to do is drive it around the track and drive it into the pits. Which is hard enough. But you're not having to spend half a lap.
Race.
It's alright on circuits where you've got a big straight and you can sort of start setting up a couple laps for, but tracks like Brands or something like that, it's just really hard to do it on. They're sort of smaller. It's like Spa, you got miles and miles of Kemble Straight to play with. Not too bad. Quite fancy doing an iRacing endurance event soon. Might have to reach out to the guys that I normally run with and see if anyone's got one planned soon. Get R Factor Le Mans out of the way first. Because that's a 2.4 hour solo race, so that'll be interesting.
Alright, race is over. Good job, mate. You did your best. Bring it back to the pits.
To be honest, not really the result I wanted out of that, not gonna lie. Whew. Right, let's... Obviously the camera doesn't work at that end, so if we put the camera like here, is that gonna be in the way? And then I like having that above the camera. Oh, GP3. You know, I only ever got as far as GP2, and then I didn't have a computer for years and years after that, so it kind of fell by the wayside a bit. I'd love to play GP4. I remember my friend had GP4 at their house, and it was awesome. But I did have a computer by that point, but it just couldn't run it. My parents were not going to buy me a gaming computer at that age. Which was a shame, because that was the best racing game, without a doubt. And like proper intricate damage models and like weather, and even from the early ones, like they really, really did do a blinding job with that. When did they do GT4 races? So I'm going to take a very quick break to get a drink, and then I will come back and we'll do some more. So catch you in a sec. There we go. Back in the game. Right. Where next? Monza. Imola? Quite like Imola. Why not?
Green light.
Again, we've jumped into qualifying with virtually no time left. Set up Swiss car, really. Let's see what it's like round Imola. Well, that's different. Turn round. There we go. That's what we call a pro gamer move. We're running really poor frame rate Imola. Imola must be a more demanding track than the others. Because they're only at like 50 FPS. Preemptive donut. Because we're not going to win. You never know. We might have to turn down a graphics setting or whatever. I'm not sure which one yet. Such a difficult game to run and stream on weaker hardware. Some people can run like, because they've just got the baller setups, can run this in like full graphics, 1440p, 144 Hz, and stream it, which would be awesome. Here we go. Alright, we have one flying lap. It's a funny one, isn't it? It's you think it wouldn't be too bad, but it really can suck up the resources. I dread to think what sort of frame rate we're going to be running at the start of this. Also, another bugbear is the actual mirrors. Like, they're such bad quality. All the other racing games seems to be able to run mirrors at, like, it looks like what's at the front. Maybe a little bit reduced, but it looks good enough. And it eats a bit of performance, but not enough to... These ones, even on like highest setting, they look shite. For such a good looking game, it just breaks it for me a little bit. I guess all the other Sims are like 10 years old by now. Well, maybe not quite that, but close. This isn't going to be nowhere near my fastest lap of Imola ever. Just like a 141 or something.
Session is now over.
43 maybe. I don't know.
Yellow flag in sector 3.
Video. Medium. Did that work? Who knows? Should I be able to get half the... Oh, I was so far off the pace. I was like, oh, 6, not bad. Only like, was it? No one else qualified. To be fair, it takes me a couple of laps to warm up to a car on track combo. Let's drop a few things down. Yeah. It's not going to be pretty, but let's see what happens. It used to only be this track that we're struggling with, although we were always struggling at the start. But we can live with that, as long as it gets up to 60. You can tell I don't stream this that often, and I haven't got anything optimized for it at all.
30 seconds.
Drive. It'll be alright. It'll be alright. What do you reckon then? P7 start. It runs well enough, doesn't it? We shall see how it goes. Let's aim for a top 10, because there's going to be quick guys behind me that didn't qualify. Because it's just how it is. Yeah, I think a top 10 would be about as good as we're going to get. The tyres are well cold. Best way to get tyre temperature is to get brake temperature. Alright, try and avoid Imola death at the first turn. Probably isn't going to happen. I don't want to go out there because you've got marbles out there. Just hug the inside, I think, at T1.
Green light, go, go, go. Car on the right, clear on the right.
Death there. Right, here we go.
Right. Clear on the right.
Come on, tyres, give me some temperature. Give me some warmth and love. Oh, big issue there. Right, that's a bit better. Kind of leveling ourselves out. Hot into there. Sort out that oversteer before it kicks in too much more. thing with this game is it looks fantastic when it's like on a decent graphics setting, but when you have to bring it down to like make it run well on not brilliant hardware, like it actually looks worse than some of the other Sims.
Car on the left. Clear on the left.
I'm gonna have to play around to find some optimized settings for it. It was an alright start. It's got a lot worse since then. I think Race Room looks quite good. Like, realistically, when I'm racing, I don't really notice it. I notice it on this more because it's a little bit pixelated and a bit like, ugh.
Car on the left. Clear on the left.
Like Race Room I run for streaming on a mixture of medium and high. And it's fine. iRacing I can run on a fairly decent graphics settings. I haven't tried R Factor yet, something I need to try. Set that up before we do our Le Mans race. Still trying to get to grips with this it's Mercedes, if I'm being honest. I'm definitely faster in like the Porsche or the Beamer.
Well done, mate. The fastest lap so far. Car on the right. Clear on the right.
I've got 1660 Super, so it's not an awful card by a long, like by all means, but it was budget when it came out, and it's just not good, quite good enough for what I want to do with it. I don't want to be like, I don't do anything silly like 3060 Ti or something would do me. The prices are just all over the place at the moment. I might even look at AMD, like a 6600 XT or something. Like they're more budget cards, would still give me about, I don't know, 20-30% more performance, so. It almost makes sense to try that. Like, try and get hold of one of them at some point. I can hold out for it, unless it goes pop, I can hold out for a bit.
Car on the left. Clear on the left.
I win the lottery. Then I might baller it up a bit more. To be fair, if I won the lottery, as much as I enjoy building them, I'd probably just order a baller PC, pre-built, job done.
Car on the left. Clear on the left.
The Chinese have like stopped crypto mining, so there's loads of cards coming out through that. I'm not sure if they put like a ban on the amount of time people could spend gaming in a day as well. I might be making that up.
Car on the left.
Here come the fast people.
Clear on the left.
Just leaving no room. So it'd be interesting to see like what happens with the graphics card market. I reckon it's going to be another year from now until we start to see. And the thing is, they'll never go back to the prices they were launched at, because no manufacturers know people are going to pay more for them now. So at least I've got one. At least I've got a working PC. Like, I'd love to have a bit beefier one, but I then have to, like, my monitors only push 60 Hz at 1080p, so then I'd have to, like, potentially get new monitors if I want to make the best of a new graphics card and all that sort of stuff. So it's a swings and roundabouts thing, isn't it? Like,
Car on the left. Clear on the left.
I'm just getting absolutely done here. Cheers, man. My race pace in the Mercedes is definitely not up to what I can do in BMW and the Porsche. I'm quite quick in certain tracks. It'd be interesting to see if I can get it up there. I have setups for both of those cars though, like Coach Dave stuff, which work really well. I don't have setups for this car. Quite enjoying driving it. It's just, I'm not pretty sure where the limit is with it yet. I started with a TV. Part of me thinks if I could, yes, if I could do that and run like a 60-inch TV, I might do that rather than this. How much would we all just want to run boosted media setup, really, don't we?
Clear on the left. We have some light damage on the
We're
road.
not saving that one.
There's a slow car up ahead.
Well, 170 Hz, fine. Like, that's gonna be smooth as butter if you can run at that. Oh, my card couldn't push this game to 120 or 144 or whatever the next lot up.
Yellow flag, be careful.
We said it in the last race, didn't we? We're not here to worry about getting the odd tap here and there. I'm just here to have a bit, to be honest, it's quite fancy doing some racing, and when it's that I can just play, chill out and chat with anyone that jumps in the stream. So if we don't get good results or we get
Be careful there.
punted off occasionally, it happens, doesn't it? That's a good thing about like single screen. Like, I was just using a 40-inch TV. The refresh rate wasn't particularly good though, so it definitely had like quite a bit of input lag. But I could run it at 4K and get like 60 frames, so that was quite fun on some games. And you still get a fairly decent field of view with a TV quite close to you, like something that size. Okay, everything does look a little bit too big, I think, but I think 27-inch triples would be ideal. I know some people say 32 is actually better, but I don't know, I think 27 would be enough.
Well done, mate. The fastest lap so far.
I actually couldn't fit any bigger in my shed anyway, because like my yeah, see, that's a good size. My I like 23s basically touch each wall of the shed. See, I think I run On iRacing, I get like 159 or something with the triple 23s. And they're about a 55-degree angle, like in. So it's probably about the same on this, I guess. But like, I can see one wing mirror here. If I turn my head all the way over there, it's like on the edge of the other monitor. So while they're not the best monitors, I only paid like £30 a screen. So can't really argue 90 quid for a triple monitor setup. Plus like an extra 40 quid on stands, I suppose. Just got one of them like arms that clamp onto anything you want to clamp them onto, really.
Falling behind to the car in front in sector 3.
Definitely looks a little bit more pixelated turning down the settings I turned down. I'm not gonna lie, it's putting me off a little bit. Like the edges of the track look fuzzy, which is just weird. Oh, she's getting warm in here now. Boom, 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 boom. Right, here we go then. Let's see if we can catch back up a little bit. Need to try and find some pace in this car. Which is not proving easy, I have to say. I'm about 3 seconds a lap off my normal pace, I think. 2 to 3 seconds. I think this is possibly my quite strong here in GT4. Like for my relative pace. I haven't done much in the Aston V8 actually, no. I've been virtually exclusively the M6 and the Porsche. Does it make it a bit more nimble, does it? I've heard really good things of the Aston. Run that a little bit too wide. We actually were on for a much quicker lap that time. I mean, I'm fully aware that some cars are better at some tracks than others, so I'm not expecting every time every car to get to the same level, but to be fair, at the level I race at, all cars are equal enough. Like the bop only really affects the top few percent. Stable and agile. That is a good combination. What's the trade-off? Is it slow?
Well done, mate. Yours not best.
There's got to be something. There's always something that's a trade-off. Yeah, I mean, like this seems quite. Oh, Might have taken a little bit too much curve there. Come on. Might have to give it a go. Some cars do. Some cars can really like be chucked across curves and it doesn't affect them. This one doesn't seem to like them as much as maybe the Beamer does. Maybe it runs a bit lower to the ground or something. You want a car that eats curves? Do a couple of laps here in the GT4 Camaro, because you can basically bounce it, like just chuck it across all of them. As long as you don't stray over the track limit things, it won't affect it. It's great fun. Slowed down too much and didn't pick the right gear. Not ideal. Not ideal. Ooh. Can't get that bit right today. Normally sector 1's my strongest bit. It has its problems though. Like, I'm definitely faster in like the BMW. I don't like the BMW as much, but I am faster in it.
Right, man. Leader is on the final lap.
Yeah.
Do all you can.
Porsche seems to be the most popular GT4 car as far as I can tell. Oh, come on. Do you know what is really fast GT4? If you can get it working, it's the Maserati. The worst thing about the BMW is the gearbox. It's got a ridiculous gearbox in it. Yeah, the Cayman is. Obviously the 911's a bit more exciting. I've got a friend that's incredibly quick in, well, just ACC in general. He's really fast in the Maserati, and he's just got standard G29 pedals. And all he does is turn the brake pressure like
Leader has finished the race.
really far down, so it doesn't really kick in till it hits like the rubber. That's how he gets. That's how he gets around it. Even with load cells and stuff, it's still a difficult car to drive. It just is quite a challenge. But it sounds awesome. The old leather seat. It's really comfy, but it does get a little bit warm.
Alright, checkered flag. Good job. You did the best you could. Now bring the car back.
Ah, I'm pretty... Quite a sort of non-eventful race, that one. Yes, the Maserati does look awesome. No argument with that. It is definitely a good-looking car. Right, what's next? I've never done 2014. I'm not waiting for that. Yeah, top 10. Top 10, I suppose. I felt like I had more. If I could have just found a bit of pace, like, in the car, I think I would have been alright. Ooh. Nürburgring. Cheers, man. Here's a track you're bored of looking at, I'd imagine. Get the glove back on. I desperately need to buy some new ones of these. I've got, I don't know if you can see, like, the hole that's formed there, and like what it should look like. These are like £3 cycling gloves from Halfords. Aggressive. Back. Drive. We've actually got 10 minutes qualifying, so like we might actually get a lap in. Let's try to spin it coming out the box. There we go. Let me know how far behind you I am.
Car on the left. Clear on the left.
Go on, go.
Car on the left. Clear on the left.
Such a poor section of track. I just need to get rid of that. It doesn't need to be in there. Is it the Mercedes Arena or whatever they call it? But it's just so annoying to drive. .56s. Do you know, I've got no idea what my pace around here is at all. Like, I've raced it quite a lot. I just don't fixate on the times. Like, loads of people are obsessed with PBs and stuff. I'm not interested. As long as I'm running around the times that the rest of the lobby are running.
Yellow flag, sector 1.
Come on.
I've got some light damage on.
As long as I can keep up with the rest of it. So I need a 57 at the moment to get... And that's probably going to be a few seconds off the pace when everyone else starts getting their laps in, so... We'll see, won't we? Someone once told me to set the traction controls this to 7 and not worry about it because it doesn't kick in that much, but I can't believe it wouldn't. Aliens are 53.5, so I would be probably about a 58. Let's see. Again, it's not a car that I'm particularly au fait with, so I'm going to give myself a second, probably a second slower than what I could achieve in a car that I drive regularly. Maybe. That sounds like one of them good excuses, so yeah, let's go with that. So what happens if I do put out to 7? So I just get like instant grip hacks. Doesn't seem to be that interfering, actually. We'll see, though. One thing I keep forgetting to look at is my tyre pressures as I do these. I'm not adjusting anything, I'm just literally just turning up and racing. I know people that have like setups stored for pretty much every or the bulk of the weather conditions, and they also know exactly how to adjust the tyre pressures for like different temperature degrees and stuff. I can't do any of that. I can't even build a setup on this game. Maybe I'll make the odd tweak here and there that gets me a little bit more confidence in the car or something.
Yellow flag in sector 2.
It's always claimed that aggressive setup would be close enough to fast. But I don't know. You always feel like, well, I could be on a better setup. Blah, blah, blah. I think, to me, a rapid setup, like the fastest guy's setup, I probably couldn't drive it. It would be too oversteery, too like mental for me. I need the I need a quite a planted car, I think. A little bit of oversteer preferred to a little bit of understeer, but yeah, I think the defaults are alright, to be fair. Like, as long as it's drivable, I don't care. With that 2 minute, that's not very good, is it? I'm really not pushing it anywhere near hard enough here. More just getting used to the car and the track.
Slow car ahead. Yellow flag, yellow flag.
Yeah, like they'll run a mentally fast. Like they're just good. And it's just like hours and hours of practice, basically. I jump across too many sims to be good at just one. That, and I don't have the natural talent either. I can't say it's not down to playtime. I do play a lot. And like, I play a lot off stream. I don't stream very often, so maybe like once a week I do a live stream, and then I'll try and pop a video out if I've had a particularly interesting race or something. Or sometimes just because I need to feed the algorithm occasionally. But like a lot of my racing's done for fun, which is the way it should be, really. But because I do jump around, so like tonight I'm on ACC, tomorrow I'll be on iRacing or Race Room, and then like I'll be on normal AC.
Slow car ahead.
Bit of R-Pack to practice put in there.
Your lap time is invalidated. Please try to stay on the track.
They all drive differently. They all have their little ways of doing things, and that's where I struggle. I never learned the fastest way in any of the games to do things. Braking too early for that, I know that. Just give it a go, man. Like, I do it I don't record all my races. I will quite often put the camera on and just record. I quite often just forget to say something. which I don't think is interesting for anyone. So there's a lot. I've got a lot of footage that I just record and delete. I quite like live streams because there's a bit of interaction and a bit of like, you don't quite know what's going to happen. I quite enjoy that side of it. Plus I get to like just sit down and talk sim racing with people. People find that they like talking to me, then that's nice for me. I like that. I'm never going to be one of these like guys that people watch because they're fast. I just want to be mildly entertaining for someone. And
Yellow flag ahead, be careful.
like the videos, if I can find something to put on video that I think people will find helpful, I'll do that. I don't mind doing the race footage videos. I put a few of them out just because they plug a gap. I am meant to be working on one fairly soon with one of the guys that's been doing the Cupra esports stuff, like the top server, on just how much faster one of he is compared to like me. Like, I think that'd be quite a good video.
Well done, mate. This is me, Russell West.
But he does it all on a bog standard G29. Like his whole thing is, you don't have to have the best stuff to like race at the top. I just think that's really like really quite cool. So yeah, I really want to do a video with him, but our schedules are kind of not lining up at the moment at all. But when I do, hopefully it should be worth a watch.
Yellow flag ahead, watch out in front.
I've been told that some of the really fast guys don't even have the force feedback on, because they do it all through just like knowing the game. The force feedback can get in the way. It's a bit different now because there's a lot of sort of sponsorship in the top guys. They're getting given wheels and stuff for.
Yellow flag in sector 3.
Yeah, a lot of the early fast guys didn't have good equipment. They were just bloody good. That's going to ruin that lap. My equipment's actually fairly decent and I'm still slow, so I don't think the equipment doesn't make us the racer as such, does it? But yeah. Right, where do we get to? 16th out of 20. That's not great, is it? No, we're not going to do well in this race. I can feel it. We definitely need to sort out the tyre pressures. It always does that. It always does every time I think, oh, I'll just click on that. Just do that. Only 5 seconds off the pace. And the last person to qualify. Chatting too much, I guess. We don't care, do we? We don't care. We're only here for the fun today. Otherwise I'll have to get in one of my try-hard cars. We don't want that. Why can't I be playing with the setup here? Right, well, I've got a minute. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, why not? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's the only way I can do that. Probably don't need that much fuel, but I don't really know how much we need. Ooh. I hope we give it a bit more downforce, because what could possibly go wrong? I don't know what I'm doing. We're just playing with it. At the end of the day, we're right at the back anyway, so that can't make me any worse.
30 seconds.
Let's go. I'm ready. Ready to fail. We might, though. We might get a race where we're just not punted off. That'd be quite nice. What do we reckon? Bum 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 bum. Good luck, have fun.
Stay in double file.
Well, my lap times were well off yours, by the way, Steve. I think I got 59 was my fastest. What's going on here? Well, I've got to go right. Someone's like dropped out. Made the grid all swanky. Swanky? I was going to say skewiff, and then I was going to say wonky, so I said schwonky. Swanky's now the term for it. That's what we're going with. The worst thing is, it's not been like turn 1 that I've been being punted in, it's been like turn 3 or 4. I know it's where I'm quite slow on the first lap. I'm always like overly cautious first lap.
Green light, give it all you can. Car on the left.
I've been in try-hard mode on Road Atlanta on iRacing. That's been my... Oh, grass. Like, desperately trying to get faster. And crashing a lot because of it.
Car on the left. Clear on the left. Car on the left. Clear on the left.
Right, there we go. We kind of survived the first sector. Let's try not to punt this Porsche off here. I hate following people on the first lap because you don't know where their braking points are for corners and things like that. It just makes life quite difficult to... You just gotta be like... I guess overly cautious behind people. Which, it's no bad thing. Like, the last thing I want to do is punt someone off and ruin their race. I've got no problem if I bin myself. I don't even mind if people hit me off, to be fair. Especially in races that don't really matter too much. Like publics. I'm not one of these people that get really angry. Even in races that count, my anger's fairly low down. I'm always mortified if it's me that does the punting. Didn't mean to actually hit that downshift then. The only problem I've done here is I've put extra wing on, which means I'm going to have no top speed when it comes to coming down here.
Clear on the left. Car on the left. Clear on the left.
Thought we were going to squeeze that through then.
Car on the left.
Oh, he's still there. I thought he was dead. I am out here. You can't come out. What frustrates me more than anything, I've got no problem. If someone misses a braking point and hits me, fine. It's the ones where like people genuinely have done something a bit idiotic, and I don't get really particularly angry with people. It's just like, some people just don't have, and they might be new to it. You don't know how long people have been doing this. You don't have like know what their experience levels are like when you're, especially in like random lobbies. But there's just some like rejoins. Rejoins are the ones that get me, when people just onto the track with no real like looking at what's going on around them. That frustrates the hell out of me. And that all stems from I did one like I think I've been on iRacing about a month, and I was racing like, it's like one of my first times in the GT3s. I lost control of it, and I got it back on track, and just as you come off the grass onto the tarmac, the grip level changed. It spun me into the road, and I was trying to keep desperately out of the way. I took out like 5 cars because they were all in a pack, and I felt so bad about it that I've like,
Car on the left.
won't rejoin now until like, I know the track's completely clear.
On the left. Car on the left. Clear on the left. Well done, mate. The fastest lap so far. Car on the left. Clear on the left.
Oh, I've got a bit of intense. Car on the left, clear on the left. Car on the left, clear on the left. I don't know what people think that ranting on chat is going to achieve. Like, you're ranting at a complete stranger. But that's where iRacing can be really toxic for that, because it's obviously got a built-in voice chat. Now, you can mute it, but it's useful to have it open sometimes, just because sometimes you actually meet some genuinely good guys, and other times, like, people call out if there's a crash or something. But the voice chat can get so toxic when there's been an accident, because it's always one person calling the other person an idiot, and then like the other person saying, well, I didn't do this, and then they go, check the replay, check the replay. And like, sometimes you get someone go for a full-blown rant, and the other person just goes, look mate, I'm really sorry, I didn't mean to, it was an accident. And they're like, oh, okay then, fine. You're like, why start with a rant? Like,
Slow car ahead.
I do not have the pace at this circuit at all. We're only like 3 positions off the top 10 though. That should be alright, wouldn't it?
Car on
That'll help.
Clear on the right.
I can see that coming from a mile off. Slight break early, just about got me round that.
Well done, mate. Personal best.
And now I need to do is gain 8 seconds on the car in front. That is not the line to do it, I'm not gonna lie. Felt like Neo from the Matrix then, Steve, not gonna lie, mate. They use the age-old Jedi tactic of mind punting. And you think about their accident, and it happens. It's not a tactic you can use very often. It's quite nice when it's successful. I think them guys have probably maybe got a little bit more pace than me though, so I expect them to come back at me. Especially the Goldie Porsche. Oh, couldn't get on the power at all then. That didn't work. Not going well. What did I say? Kinduki? I'm not 100% sure who that is.
This is me, your personal best.
But if they teach the mind punt, then they sound like my kind of people.
Car on the left. Clear on the left.
Oh, come on, little. Says don't stop. messing about sliding your rear end out when I don't want you to. I can never decide if that sector's first or second gear. I think probably second. Rob Plumley. Is he on YouTube? I will look him up. Streams iRacing. Cool. Always looking for more people to watch, especially on like the YouTube platform. I do watch people on Twitch occasionally, but
Yellow flag, yellow flag.
it just frustrates me. I don't know why. I don't know what I've got against. I don't
There's a slow
think I really get the culture. I think that's probably half of it. Yeah, that's what I was like. A lot of the things on Twitch, I just don't get the whole, like, a lot of the memes and the jokes obviously are quite big around Twitch. Just, I don't get them. A few guys I watch on Twitch, so like Homeschool Racer, he's really cool. He's proper chill. Streams a lot of ACC.
We are at the halfway mark. Keep pushing.
He's probably one of the main ones I watch if I go on Twitch. There's a few others.
Well done, mate. The fastest lap so
I
far.
don't have the app on my phone now, so I don't get the app notifications when people go live, which is annoying because it's not one of them things I sort of log on just to check every now and then. I chat. If I go onto a stream, I will always chat. I feel like it's one thing I really think that people,
Clear on the
obviously I do tend to not watch the like really big streamers. So I tend to not watch like the top guys because I can't keep up with what's going on in the chat. It must be an age thing. But so I tend to try and watch the people that are in the middle, so the chat's manageable, and you can actually have the conversation with them and stuff.
car on the left. On the left.
There's the punt of the day. We get punted every now and then. We didn't go round that time though, so somehow we've got ourselves into the top 10. I don't remember overtaking anyone else. Someone must have crashed or something. Oh. Whew. At the same time, like, I understand why people lurk in streams. So I sat and watched Ben LeBrocca's sim racing the other day. I didn't chat. I normally do chat with him, but I just had it on the telly in the background while I was like doing some other bits and pieces. Just looked up to watch a few bits of the race and then like crack on with what else I was doing. And I think I was ordering some quick releases for my wheel. I've got a GT rim and a round rim, but the round rim hasn't got a quick release on it at the moment. And like the quick release that I got on the wheelbase is really expensive, so I've just ordered 2 new ones. Andrew Noble, hello mate, how we doing? Welcome to the stream. Hope you're good. We are the adventures of a bang average ACC player should have been the title of the stream, I think. Yeah, Ben is. He's doing really well. Like, we started our channels at similar sort of times, I think. And he's like on well over 1,000 subscribers. I'm like 130. But he's doing it right. He puts out really good content regularly without a fail. And he's found his like race room sort of niche, I guess. Which is silly because like my race room content's always the one that does the best for me. And yet I still don't like put out enough of it.
Yellow flag, be careful.
Oh, we got another one. Look, another little freebie, yeah. But no, he's good. He's a nice chap as well. Like, he pops into my streams every now and then, which is cool. Have you been racing tonight, Andrew? Or are you strictly watching tonight? Oh, cheers, man. Thank you. I always appreciate a subscription. Five minutes left. I'm on him. I'm on him. Sometimes it's nice to not have the stress of doing it and just sit back and watch someone else struggle. I should have given Steve here my Steam login, let him do a few ACC races for me. If he's doing 55s around here, he's doing better than I am. All we're trying to do now is hold up this Porsche.
Yellow flag ahead, be careful.
One 55 would be enough though. If I can do a 55 now, that would be great. You like Jedi mind takeover or something? Do they do that? Can they project themselves into other people's bodies? You might be able to tell that I've never really watched Star Wars properly. Like it's what I watched the Mandalorian. I really enjoyed that, and I was like, I should go back and watch the films again because I've watched I think I've watched them all, but in like a completely random order and not like didn't really get what was going on in a lot of it. I will have to put some time aside to actually go and watch them. I've got Disney. I think they're all on there, aren't they? I struggle with grip on ACC, Andrew. I'm not gonna lie. I can't tell where the edge is. Like, it doesn't feel like the car loads up in the force feedback. It might just be the way I interpret the force feedback, but I can't feel when the car's on the edge of giving up the grip, which costs me a lot of time because I either go too slowly or I go too fast and then I lose the back end. I just like a little bit more sort of loading, I guess. I think gamer muscle calls it seat of the pants effect, which I kind of get that. It's like that whole like hanging on. Here we go. Oh no, no, go away.
Clear on the left.
Bet. And now we're in the clutches of this guy as well. Yeah, it is a bit, isn't it? It's just not one thing or another. I'm clipping a little bit, which doesn't help, but even then. I genuinely believe, like, Race Room has one of the best force feedbacks going. Like, once you get it tuned in for the car you're driving, brilliant. My top 10 is definitely under threat here. Car on the right. Like I reacted to visual and
You're on the right.
sound then more than I reacted to the force feedback. Like the force feedback did go that way, but oh yeah, the ACC-FFB or whatever it is. I used to use that for iRacing, but which is where it was developed. It does work really well, but didn't bother installing it on the on the computer when I did a like completely clean reset, because I had so much stuff going on. Things were conflicting with other things, and I wasn't sure if VJoy was causing any of that or not, so I just got rid of that.
Right, man. Leader is on the final lap.
Yep. Do you know what? I wasn't even thinking about that one that time. Was that you? I'm going to claim that that was you, Steve. You got the mine punt in for me.
Car on the right.
I was the gear too low. Oh, come on, man. Whoa. There's closing the door, and then there's coming across. Like things like that. Just so that he was on the racing line. He didn't need to come out there. Oh well. We don't get angry. Well, a little bit. Slightly idiotic things annoy me more than genuine mistakes. Not that I'm saying that was idiotic. I feel like that was a bit careless, probably more than idiotic. Like there, I would have made sure I hugged the other side of the track. You've always got to give her the space. Can't do a Spanish accent or whatever Fernando says, but leave the space, wasn't it? I think. Has it always got to give or leave? I can't remember. Oh well. It'll still be another top 10. We picked up a few. We still should have won that GT4 race earlier in the wet at Donington. Yeah. I would say you can't win them all, but I can't win any of them. Oh, no. I mean, at least we didn't spin. I guess that's the only positive we can say from that. It did feel like he sort of got past and just come over to chop the nose off and misjudged it, but I haven't really seen the point in it. Like, fair play. You got the position with good racing.
Race is over. Good job, mate. You did your best to bring it back to the pits.
So I really can't blame him for the actual overtake. It's just afterwards is a bit messy. Oh. I think that was another fairly successful little outing, that one. I swear it's gone up like 10 degrees in this shed. It must be like 30 in it now. The computer kicks out, so I've got the door wedged open, but I don't open it too far because I end up with like a shed full of moths, which is not particularly pleasant either. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to take another quick break to grab a drink, and then I think I'll come back for maybe one, maybe two more races, and then possibly call it a night. So if you happen to stick around, that'd be excellent. If not, thank you for joining the stream. I'll be back in about 5 minutes, probably less than that. Catch a sec. Oh, that's wrong. Seamless that. All right, let's try this one. There we go. Right, we're back. Yeah. Better. Get the sweat off my back for 2 seconds. Right. What are we gonna do? Let's refresh that. Anything good? Both in the race. Shame. I do like me a bit of GT3. Should we? I don't know. I feel like death would happen there. Zolder. Zolder. Go on then. Go on then, Zolder. Why not? We haven't done here yet tonight, have we? Sort of working our way through all the tracks, really. I have raced a cup car. It's I actually really like it, but it's like really dangerous. Actually got a league starting on normal AC in the cup car on Tuesdays in a couple of weeks, which I'm looking forward to. I think that'll be quite good fun. But yeah, I did enjoy my time doing the cup car. Didn't do many races, but I've done a few. I ended up backwards a lot. Oh, I didn't put the setup on, did I? I don't know if it defaults to safe setup or what it does. I'd definitely give it a go, man. Like, I don't know if there's many lobbies for it, but I'd definitely give it a go. It's a good fun car to drive, and it'll give you, in a way, it'll give you better driving habits than say the GT3 car will, because it's not got the ABS or the traction control and stuff like that, so that makes it a bit more of a challenge to drive. I think this is probably the most dangerous pit exit of any of the tracks. Alright, here we go then. This is where we come to ruin tyres. Yeah, it is a bit like, I'd say I was very much like that, but I've found myself drawn back to GT3. Like I've raced a lot of other stuff. I'm getting some stats here. I've raced quite a few other classes of cars and across lots of. I don't really enjoy like touring car racing, things like that, but GT3s are quite fun to drive, like, and they are like to drive them is fairly easy, but to drive them well is actually really a challenge. And like I say, it's where a lot of the racing is. Let's say with the R Factor thing coming up, I'm going to be driving an LMP2 in that, which should be good fun. So when the inevitable death happens, it'll happen spectacularly. Because the speeds will be immense. The biggest thing with R Factor is the flat spots. Like, if you lock the brakes once, flat spot, and then it basically turns like your wheel into a vibrating sex toy of some description. I should definitely be first gear. Stop spinning the wheels. Right. We're going to aim for another top 10. I'm not sure how competitive I am around Zolder. It's a track I quite like, but you never know who you're up against here. There's normally always a fast guy in every lobby.
Well done, mate. The fastest lap so far. Yellow flag in sector 1.
It's never me. But yeah, I think on Tuesday before the league race ups, we've got the racing trucks mods, which could be hilarious. There was also talk of maybe doing like our own sort of Goodwood revival, do a few races in some classics. Let's see how that goes. So that'd definitely be interesting. I might stream the trucks when we do them. I think that'd be good fun. Don't often stream the Tuesday races because they're all on Discord. It can get a bit messy with the like amount of talking. Yeah, I think that's what they are. Not like the not like the sort of state. No, like actual like big rig trucks, the proper racing trucks. I think that's what they are anyway. I haven't actually looked. I just got told they were trucks. European truck racing. So I think that could be hilarious.
Well done, mate. This is me, your personal best.
Don't worry when you improve by a second and still don't go up a position. So you know you're very far off the pace. It's not a category of things I want to try racing, actually. I want to try some of the dirt stuff on dirt road on iRacing. I think that could be quite fun. Yep, lorries with turbos.
There's a slow car up ahead.
What could go wrong? Oh, he's missed that by a mile. Just about saved that.
Yellow flag, be careful. Yellow flag in sector 1.
Still a little bit of improvement, not really enough. Must be miles off pace. The only dirt oval race I've done was a for fun one in Skip Barber's, and that was hilarious. I've also taken like an Indy car around one of like the dirt jump rally courses. That was also quite funny. That was a really poor turn one for me there.
Yellow flag ahead, watch out.
I like silly combinations. Like sometimes racing should just be for the fun of racing and not for seriousness. Like give me a weird combination of cars and tracks, and I'll enjoy that. Oval skippy racing, that needs to happen, really, doesn't it? I think we did that one at some point. I seem to remember doing skippies at Daytona or something quite a while ago on a Assetto Corsa, on one of our like weeks off from the actual like league racing, just to fill the gaps. We do like breaks between the series, and then we just do like one night events where we do like 4 or 5 different races. And sometimes they'll all be in the same car, sometimes there'll be different cars. we did a night of skippies, and I got a feeling we did Noble race. And it was a case of just trying to stick it. If you lost the pack, you were done. You're out. I don't know why I find that corner so hard on this track. Can't keep any pace up in it. That and that chicane. All the chicanes at this track are quite challenging.
Yellow flag in sector 1.
It's poor around there. We lost all the time we'd gained. It's a fun circuit, isn't it? Like, you've got to really be on it and precise, but at the same time, it's quite a nice circuit to drive. I mean, the massive curves are a bit of a lethalness, but when you hook a lap up here, it's just so satisfying. This is a great touring car track as well. We have the same thoughts. That was really scruffy. I keep gaining time and then losing it all. Like, it's definitely quick to go over the curves there, but it just doesn't feel nice at all. So no, I don't want to do that.
Yellow flag in sector 1.
Can't quite get it to hook up the grip there. Oh, 14th. Are we like again the only the slowest person to touch at a time? I didn't think I was being that slow around there either. That feels a little bit almost disappointing.
Session is now over.
Guess we're about to find out. How far off the pace were we then? I reckon 5 seconds? 6 seconds? 2.8. Actually not as bad as I thought it would be. Bought my giant bottle of fake Fanta with me, or whatever it is. Lilt Fanta. Lilt. That could have been worse, couldn't it? That could have been worse. Cheers, Andrew. Thanks for popping in, man. Thanks for this sub as well. It's always appreciated. And hopefully we'll catch you soon. $129. That's fast. I feel like that's fast. We weren't. There's even much higher up Mercedes than me. That's depressing. I like if I can't be fast, it's always nice to be like highest in your car. That didn't work either. Would actually be 2.5 litres a lap. You got 20 minutes, and it's what 1 minute 30 a lap. So who bloody knows what the actual? I reckon I could probably get away with like that much. Let's put them down as well. Please take it easy into the chicane on that one. So that definitely means someone's going to fully send it. I keep forgetting I've got this like drum and bass on in the background as well. Yeah, I'm not a rover anymore. I've not got the moves for that, that's for sure. Here we go. Great name for me. C. Thompson. Or
30 seconds.
Trataratanatives. Nibs. How do you say it? Tatar Insev. Tatar Insev? Is it Russian? I feel like that would be Russian. I thought you talk about like on the directly in front of me on the the relative box. I was like, C. Thompson. That's my mother-in-law's name. Here we go then.
Go in double file.
Please no death. Or at least please don't cause any death. That's what we got to really aim for.
Low tire pressures.
Super cold tires, super cold brakes. That guy's just like, nope, parking it here. I think every race I've done here,
Right, show them what you got.
I've died at T1.
Car on the right. Clear on the right. Car on the right. Clear on the right.
Escaped. Big old Bentley struggling with the cold tyres there.
Car on the left. Clear on the left.
Me struggling with the cold tyres on the brakes. Oh, there we go.
Yellow flag in sector 1.
Right. I feel like we got away with that. I don't think we have the pace to really be running up here, so let's see how we do. Got to try and not get overtaken by the big Bentley. Are we actually in 5th? That's pretty impressive. Got like 10 places at the start. And it's now a game of see how many of them 10 places I can hold on to. Oh, gotta enjoy it. Gotta enjoy it. That's not how we do that chicane. It's got to be a track cut. I'm not ripping the floor off my Mercedes if I keep doing that. Right, we can definitely see my lack of pace and the cars in front are absolutely driving away from me. I've gained a little gap to the Bentley behind, and there's a little bit of a gap behind him, so we keep everything on the road. Might be alright. You never know.
Well done, mate. This has been your personal best.
Ooh. How slow and steady I try and get through that, it's not working. I don't think the shift down to first has helped me though. Feels like it's unbalancing the car a bit. I just realised that I've been doing like all of these races on like far too much fuel and like number 2 brakes rather than number 1.
Yellow flag in sector 2.
Especially qualifying.
Gaining on the car ahead in sector 1. Well done, mate. This has been your personal best.
Still feels slow through there. I've done that a few times. I was in a GT4 series a couple of weeks back, and all the practice had been wet. Everything had been wet. Qualifying was wet. I had my wet set up, all loaded. Got on the grid, dry. No sign of rain. So like flicked it to the aggressive setup. Didn't check the fuel, and there was no refueling in the race, only tyres. So a lot of people just raced until they ran out of fuel. I managed to fuel save enough to get to the end, so I gained like 10 positions in the race, but I was running about 2 seconds a lap off my pace. It's the only, but I got to the end. It was a good exercise in like how much fuel you can actually save. And I was like, oh, and I kept thinking, oh, I've done enough now, I can get to the end, so I'd speed up, and then I wouldn't, then it would go, then I'd do the calculation again and be like, oh no, I've got to slow down again. So I did like 2 flying laps and then like 5 fuel save laps, 5 to 6 fuel save laps. I think I finished with like 0.1 of a litre. But like, I'd calculated I needed like 80 litres, and I started with like 62.
Slow car ahead. Slow car ahead. Yellow flag in sector 1.
Do you know what? I never even look at the map. Like, I was just assume it's going to be on the fastest one. I know some setups are geared towards like endurance and stuff, and they'll put it on a different map. You have to be a bit careful with those, but
Car on the left. Clear on the left.
Yeah, apart from like that last lap, my pace has actually been quite good. Changing the brakes and taking a bit of fuel out is all I needed to do. I've got enough to get to the end. 10 laps, yeah, it should be fine. Tell you what, it's quite hard to read the chat on this chat. Somehow it changed in that race of races, yeah. On for it. It's always when you do well in qualifying or when you're actually looking like you could do well. I had a league race a while ago in like all the practice sessions. No! Why would you lose it like that? That was almost an awful rejoin. Come on. It's always when you're doing well that it all goes wrong, innit? But yeah, I did a league race a while ago and I was like, I topped all the practice sessions through the week. Like in the like we have like an open server that runs a week, and like my times have been really fast through that, and then started the race and spun it at the first corner. That was it. So I don't know what, I don't know if I not loaded my proper setup and just didn't have the grip I thought I'd have. But
We're halfway through, not over yet. Clear on the right.
oh, you little
Car
bastard!
left. Clear on the left.
Come on, we've ruined it now, haven't we? We've ruined it. That off has thrown me out. Right. I know we've got a little bit of damage, but we should be alright. See if we can make a couple of places back. We were running fairly good pace up until then, so... Oh, it feels worse than when it had significant damage, to be honest. That's the sort of thing on ACC that it happens to me every now and then, like, corrected it, because I can't feel what's going on properly through the force feedback. You like, you overcorrect, it goes back the other way, and it's just such a slow death. It's like, there's nothing you could do about it. Oh, we've definitely lost some front aero. It's not healthy. It's not feeling good. Oh well. Oh well. Well, I mean, we're technically still in the top 10. But we were doing a lot better, so... We obviously used that all our luck for the race at the start.
Gaining on the car heading sector 2.
Just can't get any grip through that corner. Or any of these corners. Come on. Yeah, I felt like I was doing alright then. We're really struggling for front end now.
Clear on the left.
Which is, I mean, it's alright in the slower speed stuff where you're not really as, like, you're not relying on, that's a cut, surely. You're not relying on the aero. As soon as you get any form of speed or acceleration on, front end is just washing out. As you can probably see in the 2 seconds a lap slower. Stop it. Stop spinning. Should adapt to what we've got. It's okay. Might have the grip we had to do the lines we were doing, but alternative lines can be found. And like other people can just murder each other. Oh, this is painful. Just to be doing that, like, fairly alright, and then to not be doing alright is... It's frustrating, isn't it? And it's such a silly little mistake, and it's all my own fault. I can't even wave it off as something like, oh, well, I got tapped or something, because I didn't. It just lost control of the car. I'm losing like a second through sector 1 alone, which is why I can't catch these guys. It would have been so bad if I'd spun and not hit the barrier. Because I did have the pace to make some of it back. If I didn't want to chat to people while I was racing, I wouldn't stream, would I? Never blame chat. Never blame chat. That's what I'm here for. The silly thing was, I wasn't doing anything different, I don't think. Like, I didn't feel like I went in any harder than what I would normally do, or... Determined to overtake this guy. Like how knackered my car is. Oh, just turn, come on. I lose all the time through that one. Need to go slower into it, I think. I'm not getting that chicane right either, but that's a worry for a different day. like to put random sausage curves in, don't they? Sausage curves are the devil. They should just be banned. I understand their purpose, stop cutting corners, but they're just so horrible.
Yellow flag in sector 1.
Right. We got one more lap after this, maybe. This might be the last lap. Go. We could just hold on through that corner if we just had if we had the front arrow through there. I think we could have done this guy.
The leader's on final lap now.
Problem is we haven't got the arrow to keep the speed up through the bits we need it to like challenge into the actual overtaking zones. So let's see a whole front splitter missing from this. Are we final lap or we check a flag? I don't know. Must be final lap, okay. We hit that up fairly well. Can't quite get enough grip through there. And then this is the big one. Just hold, hold, hold. I'll tell you what, we picked the fuel just about right, didn't we?
The leader has finished the race.
Well, it wasn't meant to be on this occasion. I still don't quite know what caused me to crash, but it was definitely something I did.
Right, mate, race is over. Good job. You did the best you could. Take it easy, lead lap.
Yeah, I thought I'd probably still overrated the fuel, to be honest. I think we came like 8th, didn't we? So it's not the end of the world. You don't gain any like ratings, so my safety rating's back up to 98, I guess. That's always a bonus. It's really the only one I care about. It's my safety rating. Racegraph's quite nice to have out there, but I think everyone's got a high racegraph. Whoa, what's the time? Do you know what? I think I might call that a day. It's midnight, and I've got to be out with the kids tomorrow. So I think that's probably a good idea to call it a day, isn't it? Yeah, that event listing didn't update when Andrew. So, does it update? Let's try it. No, it doesn't. I wonder why. honestly, Steve, it's been a pleasure. The pleasure's been all mine to have you hang around for the stream. It's been awesome to chat, and definitely pop back in next time. I always appreciate everyone that stops it by to have a watch. So thank you very much, and I'll catch you soon, man. I'll catch you soon. Let's call that a day, I think.